Hello all. So I'm making this video for a friend of mine. A few weeks ago, what I did was a video comparing the BlurCream and the Babyface Cushion Foundation. Now this is the refill. The original container looks like this. Thank you, baby. Looks like this, and when you open it, this refill sort of dude sits right down in here. And so when you go to replace it, you pop this little circle out and you put your refill down in it. Okay. That said, I wanted to show you the difference. And what I'm going to do is on one side of my face, I'm going to just use the Babyface, or just use the BlurCream. On the other side, I'm going to put the Babyface foundation on. And I want to show you the difference in coverage. So when I think about my day, if I am leaving my house, I take in consideration where I'm going and what's going on to determine how I present myself. So I don't want to look like I'm going on a date to run to Home Depot. You know, I don't want to look like I'm headed to the opera when I'm taking the kids to the doctor, like that kind of thing. So I kind of have a spectrum of looks, and this is how I use these tools. Now, if you don't approach your day that way, no big deal. You do you. But I want to show you some of the tools that I use. And we just got our very first foundation, the Babyface, in the last month. And before that, I was using BlurCream and have loved it. Now, what are these? So BlurCream is one of our primers. It's technically a primer, a makeup primer, but I regard it as primer on steroids. And they're so sweet. They're out there playing. So I think of it as primer on steroids. Now, you can put this as the final step. And when I say primer, I mean the final step to your skincare regimen before you put foundation on. Okay, so I cleansed my face. I used a micellar water. I used a tonic. I used a serum. I actually used a second serum. Then I put my moisturizer on. And after I put my moisturizer on, I put my SPF 50 on, broad spectrum. Then I went ahead and did my eye makeup, my brows, and my lips. And now I'm going to move forward with my face, and I have options. So what am I going to use? The BlurCream is what I have been using consistently since November-ish. And those of you who like to have a clean face finish look, love the BlurCream. It isn't heavy. It is lightweight, and it goes on, and I think of it as, is referred to as the BlurCream, but it's not the only product that has that blurring effect. We have a number of products that have that blurring effect, to include our foundation, our Babyface foundation, and the second foundation that's coming out next month that isn't here yet. The Babyface foundation is full coverage. The one coming is tinted. So the BlurCream, I'm going to put it on one side of my face. Let's figure out which one it's going to be. I'll put BlurCream on this side. This side tends to have a little bit less of these pigments, and I have some scars left from my COVID crap. So I'll put foundation over here, and I'll put the BlurCream over here. I really prize good skincare, and having good skincare really takes care of my face and is improving my complexion. But let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to create that line. Okay. You know what? Could be cool. Let me do something like this. Wow. To show that on this side, I'm going to put this BlurCream. And on the other side, I'm going to do the Babyface. Now, something that is my own personal opinion and experience is the BlurCream functions as a primer. It's one of our many primers. Apparently, I can't say the line, but it gives us an idea of what we're doing. But it blends out and kind of creates this veiled look over the skin to kind of even out imperfections. Now, it is a primer, technically. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's matte. It does settle a bit, but it doesn't go into your pores. And this BlurCream functions like a primer, so it protects your pores. It fills in the fine lines and wrinkles, but you can put makeup on top of it. When I am putting foundation on top of my BlurCream, I don't put as heavy or thick of a layer of the BlurCream as I just did. But in this example, what I'm trying to show you is how I wear the BlurCream when I'm just wearing BlurCream, a little color, and moving on, okay? And on this side, I'm going to use a primer, but I find that the Babyface works better without the BlurCream as the primer. I don't know what it is about the consistency of the Babyface, but it's not my preferred primer for using the Babyface. We have, with Faberlic, a number of different primers that I can show you. These, actually that's not it. This is one. Here's another. Okay, so here's 3 right off that I have close by. So we have the Do the Best. It's called the Morning Glow Primer. It's one of my favorites. I love my BlurCream, but I think about BlurCream as a different level. This is a very sheer primer. It has a little bit of a pink incandescence to it, but it comes out like that. And it dries thin. And one of the things I notice, because it's what primer is supposed to do, is it really grabs onto the foundation and holds it, or the makeup, and holds it in place. So it fills in fine lines and wrinkles like it's supposed to. It smooths everything out. And then when you put your foundation on, it makes it more smooth. So this tends to be my go-to when I'm not wearing BlurCream. Another one is this guy. This is Hydration Hints. It's a moisturizing serum primer. And I wore this one in the November, December. I love that I can see them right behind me. Time frame. It has a consistency much more like water. It's thinner, and it is a hydrating sort of primer. At this point, it's March. I don't wear that one at this time because my skin is well nourished. It's well hydrated. I've made a big priority to take care of my nutrition and all. And I don't feel as though I need that one. But during the dead of winter, when it was so dry and I couldn't, I did, and before I really paid a whole lot more attention to my hydration, I use that one more. The last one I'm going to show you is called our 5-Star Primer. This is a tinted primer. It's thicker. I don't know that it's truly a mineral primer, but that's how I think of it. And this is a well-loved primer by a lot of people who are utilizing the Faberlic skincare line and cosmetics. This 5-Star Primer really is a hold on, grab, and go. So for now, I've done a video before with the morning serum. I'm going to do this one now with this 5-Star Primer. It is a favorite, like I said, of many, many, many people. I like it. It tends to dry matte, whereas the other, like the morning one, it tends to dry with a kind of a sheer little sparkle kind of look to it. Excuse me. Okay. I had to parent. So I'm going to put this guy on and I'm going to let him dry. I don't know if you can tell, but it does have a little bit of tint. The 5-Star Primer is more, it's kind of intended, it's a protection primer. It really holds. It's meant for long wear. You can put that in the trash. It came out of that hairbrush. And let me just show you Okay, so again, on this side is the BlurCream, and on this side is that 5-star primer. Be gentle around your eyes. Okay. And I'm going to give this a couple of minutes to kind of sit and set. Already, personally, I can see the difference between the BlurCream and the side that I'm putting foundation on. I feel as though the BlurCream looks full and smooth and hydrated and a bit on the flawless side. Over here, it's me, and I do have all my moisturizers and stuff on, but I put a primer on that is actually prepping my skin and making it more tacky to hold on to that foundation. So it's still a little bit dry, and that's okay. I mean, it's a little bit wet. You need to let it dry off a bit. So the color I'm going to use today is the Babyface Cushion Foundation, and the shade is Pink Vanilla. This is unquestionably my color. And I've been using this one a lot. I'm probably going to have to change my cushion out soon, but I want to get as much volume out of this because I've been doing these things a lot. I'll do my makeup sometimes 3 times a day, and that will really go through your product. So what they do is they have this cushion and they fill it with the foundation. So I'm going to take my little sponge, push it against, and what it does is it kind of has this stamping behavior. And this stamping behavior is buildable. So right now I'm putting on one sheer layer. It's very light. I feel personally as though the foundation feels lighter than the actual BlurCream. It feels like a second skin. And other people who have used this have referred to it as their skin feels so different utilizing this foundation compared to other companies' foundation that they feel like their skin is actually breathing. And I get that. And there's actually a reason the way it feels that way. This product, our foundation, this foundation has skincare in it. It's not just foundation, but it has our Novotin Oxygen Complex in it that works to take care of your skin, regenerate your skin, it nourishes your skin. So does the BlurCream, by the way. It has that Novotin Oxygen Complex in it. And so you're not just putting a primer down when you're using the BlurCream, and you're not just putting a foundation on when you use the Babyface. You are putting skincare on your skin as well because it has that patented Novotin Oxygen Complex. And I'm just moving this around, okay? I'm moving it around to make sure it's even. This is a damp sponge, just like I would do any other sponge. And that's the difference. So this isn't perfect because I have this darn little line. I'm gonna try it. Excuse me. So it is, I'm trying to be mindful of that. So I'm maybe not getting the coverage I would otherwise. So about this is buildable foundation. And if you don't really like how sheer it is and you want more of a flawless coverage, you can let it dry and wait about 3 minutes and then go put another layer on. It's not going to pull off with your sponge. You're not going to have any additional problems. So let me see. I don't know if this was of any value, but I tried. I hope you'll understand the intention there was to give you a line, a parameter to kind of compare. So this side is the Babyface and this side is the BlurCream. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do to kind of finish out this look, I just had the BlurCream this side, I just had the Babyface this side. I think this looks lovely. I also think this looks lovely, but I think of them as different looks. And what is interesting about the Babyface is if you are someone who needs to use powders on top of this to set, the Babyface dries matty, so it dries matty. But if you need some sort of powder because you're a little extra oily or you have places that it tends to lift, I won't say all powders, but I know the powders that we carry, it just very lightly, you can dust them on there and your makeup will not look cakey. It will not look cakey. And there's something about this Babyface that if you work it in stages, it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't get cakey. So really, really, really interesting. So at this point, I'm going to get my contour palette and I'm going to contour and let you see the difference of that whole look. Because I've already put my eyes on. I've already done my brows. I have my lips because I just need some color. And now I'm going to contour and make that final look, okay? Okay, so at this point on this side, and when it comes to concealer, so here's a little tidbit that I have learned in the last few months, which is totally counterintuitive to the way I did my makeup. I've heard it said by professional makeup artists, you can always wear concealer without foundation, but you should never wear foundation without concealer. Now, in my opinion, the way that this Babyface wears, I don't need concealer. I can do concealer, but I don't need concealer. Over here, however, I do feel like I need a little something. So I'm going to take this is called our Express Eyes Filler. It's a very fluidy type of flesh tone concealer. And I'm just going to let that sit here a minute on top of that BlurCream. And the reason I'm going to let it sit is because this is very fluidy. And because it's so fluidy, I'm going to come over here where I'm at, and it's a little bit red. I want that to set up a little bit to give it some more structure. So I'm going to let it dry just a little bit. Over here, if I wanted to do anything in terms of a concealer, what I don't want to do is take this liquid eyes, because there's something about the formulation of the liquid eyes that I just put over here that doesn't interact so well with this Babyface. That's what my observations have been. And that's okay, because I also don't need it very much. If I do feel like I need a layer of something to function as a concealer, let me show you how I'm going to do that. I do like using my fingers when I work to put makeup on, because I feel like I can be more accurate in pushing that makeup where I want it to be, instead of it floating around and roaming other places. Okay, we're going to let that sit and do its thing. On this side, if you feel as though you need some sort of concealer, I don't really feel like I do, but for the sake of this tutorial, what I would do is this. I'm going to take my cushion. If I were a darker person, I don't know how I'd feel about this, but I'm not. I could just use my finger, just like I did over here, and push that guy in where I want it. And because it is fuller coverage, it's just like building that foundation a little more. Okay. Now I did get it up here. I don't know that I'm terribly worried about that, but that's how I would deal with that. If I needed more around here or right in here, I could do it. I just feel like it's a very simple tool. All right, now I'm going to go with my contour. Now my contour wound up in the hands of my little daughters this morning, and so it got broken, but that's okay because it's still usable. I mean, you're just using it and it's in this convenience of this, but that's okay. It's all good. So the first thing I'm going to do personally, I like taking the blush color and putting that where I want it to go. That might have been a little heavy. I feel a hair. And I'm coming, and I want to be mindful that with my BlurCream, I can level things out, but I don't really want to move my BlurCream. That BlurCream is really going to grab it and hang on to that color. Okay, got that. Now I'm going to come over and do a little bit of contouring with this darker color. There's two palettes of this, and both the shades, all the shades are super usable and neutral, and they just work, I think, independent of whatever your coloring is. So I'm going to take a different brush, and I'm going to, this isn't actually the brush I want. Hold on. And this isn't the brush I want, but I'm going to use this brush. I'm going to come to this contour and kind of push it where I want it to go. Just kind of lightly up here. Come down along my nose. Just shape it up a little. My jawline. Still have a hair somewhere around here. Get in my eye. And just a little, you know. Okay, so there's that. And then last but not least, I'm going to take a smaller brush. I'll take this guy. And I'm going to dust a little highlight around my face. Excuse me. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to come down the center of my nose. And then, what was I doing? If I wanted, I can come through here and do that. Okay, so that's this side. And I can do the same thing over here. What is in my eye? I take that little highlight, put it where I would naturally want a little highlight. There it is. There's that hair. All right, so there we have it. So that's the difference. If you wanted to kind of blend it all together, take a general brush, kind of push it through, push it around, even it out. This brush, I can tell, does have a little bit of powder on it. So just know that. But overall, this is the comparison. This is more the BlurCream look, and this is that foundation look. I feel like they're very beautiful. Both of them wear very well. This is distinctly lighter. This is distinctly more finished and posh looking. But whichever one you go with, you need to set it. Now, don't touch your face throughout the day. I know that's harder for some people than others. But I do feel like it's easier for me not to touch my face when I'm wearing the foundation than with the BlurCream, because the BlurCream will kind of stay tacky. And what I mean by that is it will continue, because it is a primer, it's going to continue to kind of pick things up. You can take powder and put powder on top of it to kind of set that, and it will hang onto that powder so beautifully. It really will. But I feel like the foundation is less movable than the BlurCream with the makeup on it, if that makes sense. So thank you guys for watching. This is kind of where I had that line. And I got my little marks. But just to remind you, I had that line that went down here. This side is everything the same on both sides in terms of skincare and prep with the SPF. But then the difference is on this side, I used the 5-star primer and the Babyface. And this other side, I used the BlurCream and, well, that was it, the BlurCream. And then I put the contour on, and then, and I used a little bit of the eye filler over here, and I just used a second layer for concealer on this side, second layer of the Babyface. And on this side, I used that eye filler. And then I finished with the contour and a setting spray, a fixing spray. Okay. If I can help you guys, let me know. I hope this helps. I hope this is a good reference for you. Just a reminder, I have the whole range of 6 colors, but they're kind of color adapting. The color that you're going to go into spring with is not necessarily going to be the same. Won't be, unless you're living inside all the time. The same color that you're going to wear in the middle of summer. Just know that. But it will adapt within a range to you as you are warming up for the summer. If I can help you at all, please let me know. The foundation retails right around $30, and the refills retail right around $16, $18. And they're great. I've been really impressed. And one of the things I'll remind you is, so I'm 40, I turn 41 next week, and I had really gotten away from wearing foundation, period, because I felt like it made me look older and more aged. So I was going with just the BlurCream. This Babyface foundation has completely changed my perspective about that. I feel like it doesn't set in my fine lines and wrinkles and clump up and make me look older than I actually am. And that's something that I'm mindful of. So anyway, if I can help you guys, please reach out and let me know. I'm happy to talk to you, guide you, encourage you. I can't say enough about skincare. If you aren't using a skincare regimen that you are in love with right now, please reach out to me, and I would love to advise you. If I had to pick one skincare regimen, you wanted to spend the most minimal amount of money in one skincare regimen right now, I'd probably tell you it's the Bloom line. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And the whole line with 2 moisturizers, an eye cream, and a serum run right at, they're a few pennies less than $60. They're like $59.95, something like that. If I can help you, let me know. Don't forget to wear your sunscreen. Otherwise, yeah, have a great day. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below just so I know that you are here. Tell me your thoughts about this video and others. If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. Don't forget to drink your water. Drink your water. Take your vitamins. And guys, in this world of... Oliver just said mischief. In this world of mischief and other things, it is really easy to be knocked off your game. So be mindful to protect your peace in all ways, to take care of yourself. I showed a little earlier a hair tool that I don't sell, but I use, that it keeps curls for days, and I can curl all of my hair in less than 10 minutes, and I'm good to go. If you want to see that, reach on over and look at that video. If I can help you, let me know. I love you. Take care.